Hi, I'm the writer of High Tea, and it's based on a true story. So there was a day that I had to go down to my dad's bungalow, and I had to help him pack up and leave his home. And it was something that I promised him would never happen, and that I'd really try to put off for a long time, even though a lot of my relatives were telling me that um, my dad wasn't mentally well, and his dementia was pretty profound at that point. And I found that I was getting phone calls from care workers and ambulance people and even the police on Boxing Day when my dad had a urine infection and started hallucinating. And basically, they were all really concerned about leaving my dad in his home alone. So it came to that day when I had to do something and I had to move him from his home, and I was absolutely dreading it. And I was so concerned about how worried my dad would be. And in fact, it wasn't as painful as I imagined. And this is something I've really learned about as time's gone on. And maybe it's something very particular to my dad. But I find that this like alternative reality that he steps into, which is sort of what happens when you have dementia, that it's a real sort of composite of parts of what we would call reality, his everyday experiences, parts of the past, parts of his imagination, parts of his dream world, and it all kind of creates this new world. And my dad happened to be obsessed with the Wild West. So my dad had a house that was covered in memorabilia. He used to go to these kind of recreate shootouts and things like that. And when I was really young, we would spend a lot of time watching Westerns together. So yeah, my dad in my head like was a cowboy. And something happened when he had dementia that it's almost like he did really become a cowboy. and I kind of wanted that for him when I wrote this film, is on the day that he leaves his house, on the day that the paramedics come and force him to leave his home, that instead of climbing into the back of an ambulance, by this point, he's really become a cowboy. He's entered this distinct sort of Western, suburban Western. And so right at the end, we see Jesse climb on his horse and ride off into the sunset. So it was a great opportunity as well for us to really play with spaghetti Western tropes, and to really, for me, to look again at all those films that I've been brought up with that my dad loves so much. So yeah, that's where the story comes from. Thank you.